Hello everyone, I'm Nathan with the eBookReader.com. So for this video review, we've got the Onyx Max3. This is Onyx's latest Android-powered e-reader. They've upgraded to Android 9.0. It's got some new features and a new design. Like the other Max models, it supports monitor mode, so you can plug it into your computer and use it as a secondary monitor via the micro HDMI port. It's got the 13.3 inch ink screen, and you've got the USB port down here, USB-C and micro HDMI. You got a couple of speakers on back. It's also got a couple of microphones, and then you've got the power button on top. So it's a lot. The new design's a lot thinner and more streamlined than the previous Max models. It's kind of more in line with like the Sony with the flush front screen. You've got the fingerprint sensor on the back button here, so you got added security with this model. It also comes with this USB-C to micro SD card adapter, so you can plug this in and use your micro SD card. So it doesn't have one built in, but you can easily use this connector. So you do have the option to connect your memory cards using that. So definitely an advantage with the Max model. So with this model, it comes with the white stylus. So all of Onyx's other Wacom equipped e-readers come with these black styluses, but so this one comes with the white one. The only difference is the black one has a button on the side to use the eraser. Otherwise, you can use the eraser on the end here. So one thing about these videos, it can be really hard to tell how big something is. Like the Max 3 with a 13.3 inch ink screen is huge. Here it is next to a Kindle. So I mean, you can fit a ton of words on the screen. It's hard to like express on the video just how big these devices are. The 13.3 inch screens are huge. Sometimes it can be hard just to find a place on the desk to set it down because they are absolutely huge. So the screen is the same as the previous Max model. You got the 207 ppi, the flexible ink Carta screen. So the larger screen is well suited for like the landscape mode. Like you can have two pages open at once when you're using PDFs. You can have like the dual column mode here with ebooks. So here's a look at like the dual column PDF look. So you can switch pages. You can have different documents open on here. You can also have like a note document open next to your PDF, so you can take notes next to it, or you can write directly on top of it. So I mean, all of these software features are basically the same as they were before. They did add a couple of new things here, like this double page view, and they also like have a new menu bar. But so mostly it's exactly the same as it was on the previous software with the Android 6.0. The Side Notes app, they have added some more features to it, so it's basically like the full note app. You got the templates and the character recognition now, so you can actually access these as well from the note drawer now. So they got your Side Notes section over here in the note drawer, which is nice, so you can easily access it and edit from here. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense that way. So with the new software, they have the option to switch to landscape mode just without using a separate app, so you can do that now. So you got your app drawer in here. You can install Android apps on here. It does support Google Play. I don't mess with it personally, but you can install apps if you want, because they have their own app store with a lot of these reading-based apps available already, like the Kindle. You can get Moon Reader. All this stuff's available in their built-in app store, all of these reading apps. So down here in the corner, this is the navigation ball. So you can add some different functions to the navigation ball. Like I don't like how the fact is they don't have like any way to go back to the eBook app or the Note app, but we're using the multi apps view here. So like whenever you use multi-view, it doesn't show the ebook or the Note app, but you can add a Note app to the navigation ball, which is nice. So you can just jump to the Note from there. And if you hit the home screen button, you'll go back to the library view where you have all your books organized. So you can organize your books in some different ways on here, and you can open them with different programs. Since it's Android, if you have other ebook apps installed, you can choose to open them with the other apps. But I mean, the built-in Onyx app works really well. You can create different folders here in your library view if you wanted to organize your content, or you could just use like the storage view and use like the memory card slot if you wanted to have everything organized by folders. So they do have their own built-in store in here. It doesn't really have much for English content, more for Chinese content. Okay, so let's talk about the Note app now. So I've already showed this a lot in the other videos. It's basically the same thing over and over again, but I'll give you sort of a general idea of what's going on here. So you got some different accounts that you can sync with the Note app here. So, I mean, the writing experience is basically the same as it was on the other Onyx devices. This device has a plastic-based front screen, so it does have a little bit more friction than the glass-based front screens, but for the most part, they still basically feel the same. It just has a little bit more of a like of scratchy feeling to it, but I mean, the overall experience is exactly the same because it has the Wacom touchscreen. You still got the same kind of stylus and all that. You got some new converting options on here that they added with the newer software. So this is with their updated software. You can actually reflow your converted stuff so it doesn't jumble it all together in one big line of text like it did before. So you actually have the option to conserve your layout. So that's kind of cool. And they got the new layout here with the Note app. Everything's consolidated into this upper bar, which is kind of nice instead of having this huge long menu bar on the left or the right. So you do have the option for all the same features as before, but it's just more consolidated into this upper bar here. I do like it. You got all your different pens here. You got your pressure sensitive pen, your non-pressure sensitive pen. They're different colors you can use. Obviously, they're not going to show up on the black and white screen here, but once you export them, you'll have the different red, green colors available on your other devices. So you got different line thicknesses. You got some different shapes you can use. So Onyx's app does work quite well. Their Note app, it works well. You can export this stuff easily. I like the QR code. You can just get a QR code and instantly transfer something to your other devices. You got different text entry options here, so you can use the stylus to write on this section here, and it'll convert it to text. Sometimes you have to add spaces because it if you're jumping lines there, so it does take a little bit of editing, but it works. You can also use a Bluetooth keyboard. You got resizing and moving options in here. You've got a whole bunch of different templates. You can add your own templates in. About the only thing it lacks is layers. Like if you're an artist and you want to do some drawings or something, it doesn't have different layers. But it does work quite well in regards to note-taking aspects, and all the notes are easily exportable, and you can sync them with Evernote or Dropbox if you want to. So it does work quite well in that regard. I've been using the Note model for the past year and a half since the first one came out, so quite happy with it. So you do have these different templates, like I said. A lot of them are preloaded. You got the different line templates, and you got all these different style of templates. You got the different clouds. You can load in your own as well. They're just PDFs. I kind of like this new black template lately. With you just got to switch over to the white pen. It has a lot more ghosting, as you can see, the after image right there. But I don't know. I kind of like the white text on a black background sometimes. It just kind of looks cool. You do have to refresh the screen more, though, to get rid of all the excess ghosting. But, you do have quite a few options in here as far as all your different settings and your different pen styles, your different shapes. So you do got a wide variety of options here. And then you still have all the options to write on PDFs as well. So you can write directly on your PDF files, export these notes separately or as the PDF. So you do have that option. It does work quite well. So this PDF is all the way zoomed out. So with a 13.3-inch ink screen, you do have the advantage of being able to view the PDF in full view. You don't really need to use your cropping or zooming options too much unless you have a really odd-looking PDF. In addition to writing on the screen, you can also use the regular on-screen features using your finger. You can select to add highlights. You can actually move the end of the cursor around with the pen as well. And if you turn the pen off in settings, you can actually use it to highlight as well. So you can have the pen mark on the PDF, or you can have it interact like your finger would to use for highlighting. And you got different highlighting options on here. You got different underline options as well. So they have a good selection of options for that. You can also add typed note text to your highlights. Again, you could use the keyboard, or you could just write into this entry here with Onyx's keyboard, and you can have the system convert it to text. I always like that feature. I think it works pretty cool, and I use it as much as possible instead of using the actual keyboard. But it does have some issues. Sometimes it bundles the words together and you got to separate them. But it is a pretty cool feature overall. You do have the option to look up words in the dictionary, of course, and you've also got this translating tool here. So you got the different languages on here. It uses Google Translator. So let's go ahead and translate this to German, and it works pretty well. You've also got the option to use the Badu translator. So if we go ahead and select a whole paragraph, even you can translate your paragraph. You do have to have Wi-Fi connected here, but it does it quick. So just go on there. It's done. Translates nice and quickly. So looking at the built-in ebook app here, I'm not going to get too detailed. I showed a lot more in the other reviews for these other devices, but you do have different zooming and crop modes. I don't think you're going to be using as much on the larger screen here, but you still have that option if you wanted to increase the font size or the text size here. You can pan around the page, turn on panning with that little button right there, and then you can pan around the page, set things up how you want. You got the little page button arrows right here. You can just hide this thing if you want, or you can use this on-screen page button arrows if you want, and exit back out of there. We go back to the regular zoom mode. So you got some preset cropping options too, like fit to width. It works pretty well. And then you've got these new you can view 2 pages at once, as I was showing earlier. You got different navigating modes on here. So you got the multi-page view. You can jump chapters. You've also got, you can just enter page numbers. So you got that dial down here, and then you got the back and forward right here, so you can easily navigate back and forth when you're jumping around different parts of a document. You got different navigation modes. So you got comic mode and article mode. So like depending on which one you choose, it'll go from left to right or right to left. So you can cut down cut your page into different quadrants if you're using multi-column PDFs. So they got the table of contents option here. You can view it full page or half page. You've also got your bookmarks in here, all your highlights, and any page that you've added handwritten notes to shows up right here in a thumbnail. You can easily export these if you choose to. You got the PNG and PDF options. The new software adds this new menu bar at the top of the screen here. You've got the rotation control. So previous Onyx devices used to have to install like a third-party app to rotate, but now it has it here in the system. They've added some new refresh modes, and you've also got this global contrast adjustment right here, so you can make the text darker globally across the system here. So you can also like mess with this refresh scrolling, like when you're using the web browser, if it'll refresh when you're done scrolling. So you got the speed mode. Let's try out speed mode here with the web browser, just to give you guys a quick look at how this works here. So my only issue with the web browser on this device is it scales everything really small. So you have all this wasted space, and the text is like really tiny. And you can have this thing here to increase text, but I already maxed out at its default size. That makes a lot of sense. You can actually zoom in, of course. So I mean, there are options here. I just don't understand why they got it scaling so small. You can actually mess with the DPI scaling using the like that navigation ball in the corner has the option to mess with the app settings. Messing with DPI scaling still stays the exact same text size no matter what. So I don't know, kind of strange. So yeah, you got these faster refresh modes as well. So like they added the X mode for like video. I don't know why you'd ever want to watch video on ink device, but it does help with the refresh. It does make the screen like really kind of cloudy looking though. I like these other modes better. So like this mode, it's really quite smooth. You don't ever get like the full refresh though. So you can select words and stuff like that in your web browser, of course, like usual links and like, because it has like the regular web browser. So like if you wanted to like even use your stylus to select text, you could just select, and it works just like a normal Android web browser would. You can copy, search, whatever. So you got like the usual features that way. So yeah, let's switch back to normal mode. It does the refreshing. Like, so if we scroll on the page here, then once it's done, it'll take a couple seconds, and it'll fully refresh, get rid of the ghosting, so it's nice and clear, easy to read. You got the option to disable the touchscreen up here, which is nice. So like if you're, especially when you're using note mode, if you want to just like hold it as a notepad and write on the screen, you don't have to worry about interacting with the screen, with the touchscreen. All right, so this video is starting to get really long. I've shown you guys most of the main features here on the Max 3. So obviously there's still a lot more. I mean, these type of devices have a ton of features with the Android operating system. The only main thing the Max 3 lacks is the front light, like the Note has here. It definitely is a big advantage having the front light. I do really like that on the Note. But the Max 3 has the bigger screen, has some OTG support, has the monitor mode, has dual band Wi-Fi, fingerprint sensor, so it has some extra features going for it that may or may not be that important to you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Check out the ebookreader.com for the full review. Thanks for watching. Bye.